Disclaimer before this video starts, I do have the flu right now, so you're going to hear it when I do some of my narrations. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to heal before I had to put this video out. This is day one of the Newport boat show, and we're hopping on the trolley to get there as soon as it opens because not only is this going to be the best day of weather, we've got some serious storms coming, but it's going to be the best day for Matt and I to get aboard a bunch of boats and start picking out our interior like colors and designs and just all of the 1 in 1 million things that are still left for us to do in our bills.
How's it going?
And what happens to be the very first booth we see when we walk in? Of course, it's Very Prop that was in about 2 episodes ago, so nice to kind of chat with them in person and tell them how the progress is going.
And you have your center gear, which it all spins on.
In our video about Veriprop, we talked about how big the hub was, so it was really cool to see the mechanics inside and how well built it is, furthering our trust for when we shift into regen at high speeds.
Yep. And then with each, I forget if it was like a turn and a half, it says in the manual by how much you can then adjust your pitch by, by how many turns on the grub screw.
Awesome.
So you guys tuning in.
I was so surprised.
Pays to be the very first people here on opening day. We've got our pick of boats, so I think we might even check out some of the motor yachts and things too. Again, this is really more about just figuring out interior styles, colors, decorations.
They're doing 8.5-inch spreads like we were talking. It is so 13-inch height.
Okay.
Each one of them.
They seem like easy enough steps to get up.
So this is basically what we were talking about, the same dimensions as this. Ours would be enclosed though, it's the only real difference there.
Okay.
And then, yeah, which that seems perfectly sufficient for me.
Yeah. Seems good to me.
And then to the actual thing, 17 wheel. Countertop material.
Yeah, I definitely like, I'm not sure if these are Goya, but I like this.
That is.
Yeah, versus the lip at the end.
Things like how the compression post is covered, how the forward edge of the dash is decorated, and what type of blinds used were also things we're very interested in at this point. And of course, how the overhead is styled and what they've used for lights.
This Fountaine Pajot, you can see they've got kind of a little shelf here, which is nice to have to put some things when you're sleeping. That's why I keep telling Matt that kind of back where that area is, I want a little cutout cubby. It would take up the cockpit storage there, but then I have a space to put phones or coffee cup or books or little things like that too. So that's what's important to me. And we need to do something to hide lights.
And do you guys know how much of a struggle it's been trying to get that line perfectly straight?
That chine, yeah.
Yeah, that chine line. This would have been the easiest solution, is just to put a drop in there, have that kind of extended out, and then just finish that with veneer over the top of it. But we didn't want that. We want to have that where it shows all of the hull through there. So now you witness why we're struggling, is because we didn't want to cover everything.
How much easier would it be if I had just liners like this and I wasn't fairing? These are so wide.
Look at this. It is. So it comes down here. You can see it's hidden in that step. Comes in there, and then comes in down there.
Wow.
This is at least double the width of what our hulls are.
Yes.
So same length overall as us, and double the width of the hulls. It makes a big difference though in this type of space where you get this little quasi walk around thing, you get more room through the doorways and stuff, but obviously performance is going to be impacted. That light wind performance that we're really after, that's where that big difference lies.
simple light switches here. It doesn't look like there's dimmer on it, but just a nice metal finish, modern. That is one thing we'll have to be looking at soon too. Of course, you just saw that we've started getting our hinges and latches, so things like these we're working on with Southco. Cabinets finished inside. Matt says I'm not allowed to spend any more time on our cabinets. And I can see why.
Fun looking at boats?
No. So much fun looking at finished boats.
Oh, come now.
Yeah. We've got electronics panel in about the same area that we are going to have it. Coming down the steps, ours will be hidden here. And obligatory bathroom wave. Hi.
So one of the major things we're going over is where we're going to install air conditioners. This is the first time we'll actually have AC on any of our boats, but of course with something like this and that battery pack, it's something that we really wanted to focus in on. So we are thinking about doing it up on, we'll call this up on the bridge deck, the forward section, forward windows here, doing a similar type of setup and have that so it cools the galley and the salon, the settee well, and then the cool air will actually fall down into the hulls.
And even though it is a long time away, we even have to consider things like if we want the edges of our trampoline exposed or hidden within the deck.
Really looking forward to the days of showering on the transom again, and unlike our last monohulls, a much more comfortable area to do it, I'm thinking. So once we get down to the Caribbean with the boat, probably in the Mediterranean in the summer too, it'll be a great outdoor spot for showers. Jump in the water, come rinse yourself off. This Fountaine Pajot has custom solar. It even just kind of curves with the lip here, so that's interesting. And I'm guessing it's something that can be walked on lightly. But it's very hot. Who knew that Newport in mid-September would still get so warm?
Especially with a hurricane.
2 days away. Yeah. Yeah, that's the fun thing is 48 hours from now, I think they're gonna have to shut the show down because Hurricane Lee is gonna be coming through, and we're not a direct hit, but close enough. So definitely that's why we're taking advantage of today as well to see all the boats, because who knows if they'll still be here in a few days. Not destroyed, but moved. Just found the previous version of the digital switching that we'll be getting on our boat, but the original, that's the Near Aid 1, and we'll be getting the Near Aid 3, so hopefully that will be finished soon and we can start showing you the install of that.
One other boat we were excited to see in person after following its progress on Instagram was the Lyman Morse 46-foot performance cruiser. With its classic-looking interior finish, somewhat similar to what we did for the aluminum boat, definitely had the kind of appearance we'd be going for on the Catamaran if we weren't striving for light wind sailing and could work with heavier hardwoods. This main boat builder's vision was to offer the comfortable motion and ambiance of a wooden boat with the 10 knot plus speeds of a modern performance yacht. And although we haven't sailed one, as far as the interior is concerned, we wholeheartedly agree.
Really in love with the design of these lights, and we're saying the finish on this wall, hard to tell, it's a flat white, which does hide more imperfections. But I think we're going to kind of go for a semi-gloss, so we're not going to be high shine, but still enough to make it easy to clean.
That is the perfect height for those lights, port lights.
I do like their overhead lights, kind of like the rope lighting under
Just
there.
accent.
Yeah, and I like the material they did the overhead. It's not vinyl type stuff. It's like a fabric.
And that's a little bit harder to keep clean.
I know, definitely harder. Easier to grow mold.
Well, and then when you try rubbing it, you end up rubbing in a spot, and that's my fear.
White oak on here, just like we're gonna have. So definitely the spot to go to figure out what accent colors we want to do, especially for furniture, walls, overhead, things like that. Nice navy accents in the master berth.
Just nice light and airy.
Yeah.
And then a little bit darker with the overhead, which will end up doing similar thing, kind of a brownish gray, I believe.
Yeah, probably. Looks nice though.
Mm-hmm.
And now we found the Seamarine Near 2.
Yep.
No one has 3 yet, because that's going to be ours. So we're going to get one of the first ones.
Yes. So here's humidity, or pressure, air pressure, water, fuel tanks, bow thruster, so you can see percentage, service. All of that information is all loaded in this. And the one that we're getting is going to have 2 of these displays. And the difference with the one we're getting is each one of these labels are completely customizable.
Yep, you can go to your computer and...
So you can sit there and I can change the name of it. So navigation light or whatever it is, I can change that at any point and have that. So you can switch it over or whatever it is, depending on what time of the day it is, you can have it. And it also does multiple functions too. So you press this and it can do on multiple different lights.
Yeah.
Touring the new Moody right now, and we've got some good cruising friends that are going to be very interested in this design. So we won't say who, but there's going to be another channel featuring this coming up soon.
Compared to the one next to it, so it's the same basic freeboard. Mm-hmm. They really haven't changed the. That was my big issue with this design previously, was to get this high bulwark like this, you have to usually raise the freeboard quite a bit higher. If you look at the one next to it, basically the same hull. It is identical. What they did with this is they just dropped the side decks instead. So because this being a pilot house setup, this isn't really usable space normally. You're not gonna have heads in there. So to drop it down and you get this nice solid floor.
Yeah, a really nice walkway through here to stay safe.
Yeah.
He's like, where's my view? For a monohull, this is such a nice master suite. It feels like I'm in the aft end of a really big catamaran, like an XS or a Bali, that are made for wide living space, and just, especially because the air conditioning is pumping in here, is super comfortable. I just want to crawl up in bed, put some Netflix on, enjoy myself.
I mean, this is still very usable for 41 feet.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. And that's the benefit you get with that beam being carried so far aft through here, is you got all this width.
All right, other YouTube friends, when we come visit you, when yours is ready, better have room for us to stay. Storage, and then a big hanging closet here. I don't know if we're allowed to open them or not. Okay. But yeah, just so much usable room.
It's a wet head, but they still were able to squeeze 2 heads into this.
Yeah.
And that's a very usable size, as is the one aft here.
Yeah. And of course, blinds in oddly shaped areas, so you can see that they've kind of done a triangle here. So that's the kind of thing we need to look forward to.
Make up another bed here if you want it.
Nice. All right, so we're in this option here, configuration.
The first official event of the Newport Boat Show is we're having dinner at this amazing shipbuilding museum that has the very first catamaran ever built. So we're having a dark and storm right now, eating some food, and then we're definitely gonna go inside and tour this a little bit more. Newport Boat Show has officially come to an end, and
You married the 19th.
it's time for us to head back to our boat, continue working before the Annapolis show starts. But before we can do that, we need to stock up on some of our supplies. So we are with our good friends here at TotalBoat, seeing their headquarters for the first time in Bristol, Rhode Island. We're gonna stock ourselves up on more fairing compound, more resin, and then that way when we get back to the boat, well, tonight, when we get back to work tomorrow, we'll be all set to just go at it again.
With the few minutes we had to spare at the TotalBoat headquarters in Bristol, we wanted to tour the facilities they had, where not only do many amazing projects come out of, but the warehouses are full of products we use every day and many more.
And then the rest of the warehouse is over here. Wow. Here, bin locations for everything, and everything comes in and we scan it immediately. And, stuff gets put away, and the faster moving it is, the closer it is to thick and fast. These are the hottest moving things, and then these are all the packing stations. And it might take you over here. My new favorite thing. Until you put that all together.
Oh, that's really cool.
And if you see their goods for sale on Amazon, this is where they get packed up and picked up from each week.
Oh, wow. It still goes.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing? Nice to see you again.
Yeah. We are absolutely amazed by the space that TotalBoat has here in Bristol, just the amount of space and products that they move through. We're again so thankful that they support us in the build. I think our boat is probably 90% built out of TotalBoat products, and then just being able to kind of tour this space here and meet all the faces. It's the perfect closing to the week up here for the boat show. We'll definitely be back next year.
Wow, there's so much.
So much merchandise. We're totally rating their merchandise stuff right now so we can wear a lot more TotalBoat clothes than you already see us in. And now we are done and on our long drive home back to Annapolis. Thank you again, TotalBoat crew, for having us. Love TotalBoat. We hope that you enjoyed our time at the Newport International Boat Show. We do have the Annapolis Boat Show coming up in a few weeks, much bigger event, so we're going to be doing some coverage of it based on what you saw on this episode. Tell us what you liked and make sure to tell us what you want us to cover in that episode too, because we'll have time then to plan out what we want to do and put out an episode tailored to you. Now I gotta go sneeze.
Give me your freedom. Whoa, yeah, me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces. Yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium.